They say the hardest goodbye isn't the one you speak, it's the one you never get to say. And sometimes, the most powerful act of love is walking away from someone who no longer sees your worth. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, you will find strength. But what happens when the thing you can't control is the person you love most? You gave her your time, your loyalty, your soul, yet she pulled away, slowly, quietly, till one day you found yourself chasing someone who was never planning to stop." Detachment isn't about winning her back. It's about returning to the man who forgot he was the prize all along. Stop waiting for her to change. Each silent reply, each delayed message, each absence was not an accident, it was a choice. Seneca warned, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." Your patience may feel like strength. Often, it's fear. Wearing a mask? Fear of letting go. Fear of facing the truth that she has already made her choice. The woman who truly values you won't leave you in uncertainty. She doesn't need more time, she's had it. She doesn't need clarity. Her actions have spoken louder than words ever could. Every time you lower your standards for the sake of maybe, you teach yourself that your peace is negotiable. This isn't love, it's self-abandonment. Dressed as loyalty, staying in a room where the door has already closed. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, if it is endurable, endure it. If not, stop complaining. The pain you feel is a message pointing you away from her back toward yourself. Love is not supposed to be confusing. Disrespect is. And your job is not to keep loving someone who doesn't love you back. It's to stop betraying yourself. Detachment is clarity. It's the moment you stop calling her distance mystery. Start calling it what it is, disinterest. That she is. Not your lesson, your pattern is. And life will keep showing you the same pattern until you decide to break it. So ask yourself, what are you still waiting for? How much has it already cost you? The truth is, you already know the answer. It's time to act like it. They told you since childhood through stories, culture, and quiet expectations that if you were loyal enough, patient enough, and selfless enough, one day she would choose you. But her love would confirm your worth as a man. So you waited. You tried harder. You forgave more than you should. And somewhere along the way, you handed her a crown that was never hers to wear. This is where the real damage begins. The belief that her choosing you is your reward. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If you believe your value is measured by her approval, you have already surrendered your crown. Epictetus warned, "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." And what greater imagined anxiety is there than fearing you are nothing without her choice? She is not the mountain you must climb. You are not a competitor in the tournament. Of her affection? When you treat her like a deity, sacrificing your dignity, time, energy for a glimpse of her heart, that is not love, it is self-erasure. A man who sees himself as the prize does not beg for crumbs. He does not trade his value for temporary attention. He sets standards. Stand walks away when they are not met. Ask yourself, why are you trying to prove your worth instead of living it? Your purpose is not to be chosen, it's to build, to protect your time, to live with integrity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have to assemble your life yourself, action by action." Your worth is not a gift she gives, is a temple you build stone by stone. When you forget this, you settle. You chase validation from someone who only sees you as useful. Over time, your self-respect erodes, one ignored message, one delayed reply at a time. The man who knows his value does not accept uncertainty as love. He does not allow scarcity to dictate his standards. In truth, her inability to see your value says more about her vision than your substance. Epictetus advised, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. That includes being misunderstood by those who were never meant to carry your heart. You are not here to chase someone who is unsure. You are here to live a life so magnetic that uncertainty cannot survive in your orbit. You don't need her to call, You need to remember who you are. And when you do, you won't care if she ever does. Silence is your sword. She may be gone from your arms, but if she still lingers in your mind, she still has control. You tell yourself you've moved on, yet you still check her stories, still feel a rush when her name appears, still replay old conversations in your head. This isn't freedom, it's self-deception dressed as discipline, Epictetus said. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. And nothing is more beyond your control than the heart of another person. Cutting contact is not cruelty, it's clarity. It's refusing to pay the hidden cost that comes every time you peek into her world. No messages, no calls, no social media surveillance. No, just checking what she's posting. Because every time you look back, you reopen the wound. You search the ashes for a flame that died long ago, hoping to be proven wrong. Sometimes she might reach out, not because she misses you, but because she misses the control. Do not mistake a ping for repentance. Do not answer when the past knocks dressed in nostalgia. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Silence is not passive. It is active self-respect. It is building a wall so high that even memory cannot climb it. Closure will not come from a final conversation. It comes from boundaries. You are not leaving for her. You are leaving for you. Every time you break that silence, you show her your peace is negotiable. And if that silence feels heavy, let it. Seneca reminded us, growth often begins with grief. You're not just grieving her, letting go of the version of yourself that needed her. Inside the quiet, you heal. You replace her voice with your own. Each day you don't reply, the chain loosens. Eventually you wake up and realize you're not resisting contact anymore. You're no longer even tempted. She may send the perfect message. She may cry, reminisce, regret. But if your silence is real, it will not move you. Because love that has to be begged for is not love, it's a leash. Block, delete, disconnect. Not out of hate, but out of necessity. You're not building a wall to keep her out to her, building a sanctuary to bring yourself home. That is the kind of silence the Stoics understood. Unwavering, grounded, free. After silence comes the building. Walking away is only the first step. True transformation begins when you stop measuring your worth by who left. Start shaping a life so full, her absence becomes irrelevant. Not out of spite, but because. Growth makes the past incompatible with your present. Many men relapse here. They confuse space with healing, waiting for time to do the work that only action can accomplish, Seneca said. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Time alone does not heal. What you do with that time does. Begin with your body, not for revenge, but for discipline. When you train, you're not just building muscle, you're proving you can show up every day. Sweat becomes grief leaving the body. Push through discomfort and remember who you are without her validation. Next, focus on your money. Financial independence is emotional independence. Every skill you master, every honest dollar you earn, becomes a brick in the wall between you and needing her approval. Build something no one can take: your craft, your reputation, your legacy. Rebuild your circle. Remove those who feed your weakness. Surround yourself with warriors, men who sharpen you, who call you higher, who won't let you spiral over someone who never earned her place in your soul. As Proverbs says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Then, rebuild your mind. Replace longing with learning. Trade gossip for growth. Turn off the songs that keep you stuck. Turn on the voices that ignite your ambition. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Feed your mind truth until there's no room left for regret. Finally, rebuild your spirit. Gear yourself to something greater: God, purpose, or legacy. A man without a spiritual anchor will drift back to old harbors, mistaking loneliness for love and familiarity for destiny. You're not here to simply move on, you're here to rise. She had her chance. She chose comfort over character. Let her live with that choice while you build the life you were meant to lead. When you outgrow every version of yourself that once needed her, you'll realize you didn't just get over her. You became someone she could never reach again. Disappearing physically isn't enough. She still lives in your mind. She still holds the reins. True detachment is becoming unreachable, not just in distance, but in depth emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. When you stop needing her to understand, apologize, or come back, she shrinks in your life. Her memory becomes a whispered distant, irrelevant. This transformation isn't about pretending you're fine. It comes from daily fire-setting a mission so clear that her name no longer echoes in your thoughts. You must kill the version of you that begged, waited, and mistook inconsistency for mystery. Burn him, so only the man you were meant to be remains. She was never your destination, only a detour. If her memory still has power over you, it's because you haven't built a life strong enough to silence her ghost. Become the man whose presence is a frequency she can't access. Live so high above her games that even if she climbed, she couldn't reach. Ask yourself, if she came back tomorrow, would you be moved? If yes, your work isn't done. This isn't about hating her, that's still a bond. True freedom is when her existence no longer changes your state. She may test you, an old photo, a sudden text, guilt, ignore it all. If you remain steady, she will see the truth she no longer lives in you. That's not revenge, it's transcendence. You validate your leaving not through her regret, but through the life you've built. Build with discipline, purpose, and spirit. Read the books that rewire your mind. Create rituals so strong, they carry you through any memory. One day, she may whisper your name to someone else. I knew him once. But by then, you will be a man so grounded in peace and purpose that her voice will be nothing more than a passing wind against the walls of a fortress she once could have entered but never valued. Detachment is not coldness, it's clarity. It's not about punishing her. It's about protecting your peace. When you stop chasing love that confuses you and start building a life that honors you, everything changes. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If your mind is consumed with her absence, your life will be built on scarcity." Shift your focus, stop asking, "Why doesn't she choose me?" and start asking, "Why? Am I waiting to be chosen?" You are not here to survive. You are here to lead, to build, to rise. Seneca reminds us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Stop craving what has proven it cannot sustain you. Every memory, every moment of silence is a brick. Use those bricks to build something unshakable, not for her, but for you. When your life becomes so full of purpose, there will be no space left for confusion. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery begins when you refuse to negotiate your value. That means cutting off anything and anyone that makes you doubt it. You are not here to be chosen. You are here to choose the life you will live, the peace you will protect, the legacy you will leave. And when you do, her voice will fade, not because you silenced her, but because you no longer live in the world where her opinion matters. Build, rise, lead. And let the man you are becoming be the answer to every question your past once asked. You don't escape the past by running. You escape it by outgrowing it. The man who once waited, explained, and begged must die so a new man can rise. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." If you're still anchored to her memory, you're not living, you're drifting. Your new life must be so strong, so full of purpose, that she becomes irrelevant to its course. Burn the bridges to your old self, no more wondering if she regrets. No more scanning for signs. Your validation doesn't come from her remorse, it comes from the life you've built in her absence. Epictetus taught, "No great thing is created suddenly." This transformation will not happen in a single decision, but in daily discipline, reading, training, working, and anchoring your spirit to something greater than her. If she appears again, testing the walls you've built, do not respond. Moment you engage, you reopen the door to the life you've already outgrown. True freedom is not blocking her, it's becoming unreachable on every level. Seneca reminds us, it is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. That power comes when your worth is no longer tied to her attention, when your peace is no longer vulnerable to her actions. One day, she may tell someone, I knew him once. But by then, you'll be too far into the life you were meant to live, too focused, too fulfilled, to even notice. And that, brother, is not arrogance. It's liberation. Detachment is not about erasing the past. It's about rising so far beyond it that it can no longer reach you. It's not coldness, but clarity. Not revenge, but self-respect. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if it is not right, do not do it. Is not true, do not say it. The same applies to your thoughts. If they do not serve your peace, they have no place in your mind. You are not here to survive on scraps of attention. You are here to build a life so full, so aligned, that anyone who enters must rise to meet your standards. Seneca reminds us, he who is brave is free. Bravery here means walking away from what diminishes you, even when it's familiar. Your focus now is not on what you've lost, but on what you're creating. Every workout, every disciplined morning, every hour invested in your craft is a brick in the fortress of the man you are becoming. Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Decide who you are without her and live it relentlessly. One day the thought of her won't sting, not because she's changed, but because you have. Your life will be so rich with purpose that her memory will feel like a distant story, one that no longer has a place in the book you're writing. Detachment isn't the end. It's the beginning of the life you were always meant to lead. You are not here to be chosen. You are here to choose. The moment you understand that truth, the game changes. Detachment is not about punishing her. It's about reclaiming your freedom. Marcus Aurelius said, a man's worth is no greater than his ambitions. If your ambition is only to win her back, you are living beneath your potential. Raise your aim to build a life so strong, so self-directed, that no one's absence can shake it. Seneca taught, it is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. That power begins when you stop negotiating your value. You no longer wait for her approval to feel worthy. You live in a way that makes your worth undeniable. Every setback is fuel. Every moment of pain is raw material for your transformation. Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. Mastery here means directing your thoughts, your habits, and your environment toward growth. The past will try to pull you back. You may reach out or memories may resurface, but you do not engage. You've welded the doors shut, not from bitterness, but from purpose. One day, you will look back and see that her leaving was the catalyst. Without it, you might never have risen. And in that moment, you'll understand the victory was never about getting her back. It was about getting yourself back. Live so fully, so intentionally, that the life you've built becomes the loudest proof of who you are.